find your passion, it ignites you as a person. You just feel awesome. A lot of my subscribers are female beginners in jiu-jitsu, and the majority of them have told me, and I felt this as well, is like I feel like I have leprosy sitting out here, like nobody wants to ask me to roll, and they're too shy to ask you to roll, and you're too shy to ask them to roll, so then it's like a 6th grade dance. So if you are a non-spazzy BJJ practitioner, like go ahead and ask the new female white belt to roll. That way she feels included. Like when I was a beginner and like an upper belt would ask me to roll, I was like, thank God, like, because I was feeling like I wasn't like of use to anybody. Like I'm just a small little white belt female, like who is gonna want to roll with me? Like that's how the majority of females feel like when they're going in. Another thing you can do is before the roll, you can ask them what type of intensity that they would like during the roll. And this is important because one, they understand that the intensity is modulated. So let's say if you go easier on them and let them work, they're not leaving the mat thinking they're actually like hitting those techniques. Like some white belts don't know that like you are at 30%, like, and in a self-defense situation, that intensity is going to be a lot harder, or even in a competition setting. Like that's what happened to me when I competed, like first 3 months in, like I had never felt that pressure before on the mats as I did during the competition, and I didn't even know that type of pressure existed. So yeah, like if you're rolling with a female and let's say a competition's coming up for her, or this is one of her first times rolling, like ask her which intensity that she wants and be like, all right, I'm gonna go 30%. So at least she has some sort of like frame of reference of what is going on. And in addition to that, what I really like to do with beginners, like I've been doing this for 5 years now, and I typically like to do this for beginners, as I said.
Allow myself to introduce myself.
Try to use positive reinforcement for things that they are doing technically correct. That way they are more likely to do them again. So for example, if I have somebody mounted and they did a bridge roll and they tried it a couple of times and this last one like really felt like it was going to go, I will give it to them if they are doing it correctly. If they are not doing it correctly, I will not give it to them. But if they're doing something correctly and you give it to them, then they're able to they're able to know that it works, and they're more likely to try it again. And they're also more likely to not be so discouraged and quit. And if you tell them beforehand that like, hey, look, if you do something correctly, you know, I'm going to let you work, and I won't be giving you a very high level of resistance, then they're aware that like, okay, at least I get the idea of it working, and it can work. And then as you up the resistance, then they're able to grow with it instead of just being completely smashed from the get-go, which we all know what that feels like. Another very helpful thing too is when I first started rolling, there was this brown belt Cole, and I mean, we all know this in the beginning, like you're smashed for like a solid good 2 years. And if you're the smallest one on the mat, like that's a lot of survival time that you need to go through before shit starts working and you're able to like be effective on the mat. If you're the smallest person out there, like, and you're always getting smashed, just a positive sentence can really help somebody stick around. So him saying to me, hey, look, like your movement, you're moving very well, or like you defended that well, just saying one positive thing to them after the roll, and even one thing that they could work on, like that does so much. You know how like the first day of jiu-jitsu, how like if you're watching this and you're a dude, how you're like looking at other dudes basically on each other's back and you're like, what the fuck's going on here? Like imagine like it's like that type of like awkward feeling, but it's magnified because if you've experienced like assault in the past, you're going to be hypersensitive to like touching. So if you're a dude watching this and like a female beginner is on the mats, just like be aware that like she may feel uncomfortable, and like if you verbalize things like beforehand of saying like, hey look, this is the type of intensity, like if anything gets a little bit too much, like just know that you can tap or just let me know, and like everything will be cool, all right? Like, you know, I'm your training partner, this is a safe space, like we got this. Like that would be super cool of you to do. I know it is like I'm a blue belt that's been doing this for 5 years. I know that like rolling with white belts can be charity work, but just know that it's like for a very good cause, and it would just be super sweet of you to like do that and help our sisters out. The more females we can get and keep on the mats, it's just going to make everything better, because who is going to most likely need jiu-jitsu on the weekend? Like if you look at the statistical probability of a female being sexually assaulted, like the statistics are incredible. So if you can do just a little bit of charity work on the mats to help that female progress or to stay in jiu-jitsu, you are doing like humanity a favor, okay? Because if we can get that creep to get choked out on the weekend, like that's a win. That's a win for everyone. You know what I'm saying? Even the guy that got choked out, because he should be doing that stuff. Until next time, bye.